Dr. Sleep is a sequel to The Shining. Seems like an idea doomed to fail? Well, I thought so too, at first. Turns out it's not just a requel of the week, it comes with a certain pedigree. The novella Dr. Sleep was penned by Stephen King himself back in 2013 as a sequel to the novel The Shining. This movie is an adaptation of the novella while also being a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's movie. Also, it would have Mike Flanagan for director. While he's no Kubrick, he has become a name to watch out for in the horror genre, with such titles as Oculus, Hush, Gerald's Game, and the Netflix series The Haunting of Hill House under his belt. Gerald's Game in particular is one of the best Stephen King adaptations, and I will be talking about it soon. While King famously disowned Kubrick's The Shining, he had this to say about Dr. Sleep.
Mike's movie does two things. It's a fine adaptation of Dr. Sleep, but it's also a terrific sequel to Stanley Kubrick's movie The Shining.
A good standalone film and a good sequel, he says. So, how does it fare on both these fronts? As the movie opens, we are introduced to our villains, a group of people, or should I say beings, as the movie keeps it vague. They possess the shining themselves and they feed off the shine of other people, kids in particular, in order to stay young and live long, meaning they keep their youth and are basically immortal as long as they eat. They are led by the mysterious Rose the Hat, played by a gorgeous Rebecca Ferguson. Rose senses Abra, a 13-year-old girl who is a powerhouse of the shine. From that moment on, Abra becomes a target of Rose. When Abra too senses Rose, she approaches an adult Danny Torrance, the titular Dr. Sleep, played by Ewan McGregor, for guidance. Danny has come out of the Overlook Hotel a deeply disturbed boy and grew up to be an alcoholic like his father. When Abra approaches him, he had just found his footing, sobered up, and landed a job. Does he have it in him to rekindle his shine, awaken all the painful memories associated with it, and be a mentor to Abra just like Halloran had been to him? The best part of the movie are the characters and their casting. Danny is where he would logically be, following the events of The Shining. With the help of the Shine Ghost, yes, they exist now, of Halloran, Danny has mastered the demons that haunted the Overlook but cannot come to terms with Jack's betrayal of his family. One cannot go wrong with the casting of Ewan McGregor, and there are no complaints about him as Danny either. Rebecca Ferguson is a looker, but I had no idea just how much. Her costumes seem anachronistic for any time period, and yet bring out the loveliness in her. Her hat is the perfect cherry on top. She and her pack, known as the True Knot, are drifters on the lookout for child victims. There is a vague fairy tale-ish quality about them, in their animal-like movements, in the locations they choose to halt, in the woods, under the moonlight, in their strange rituals, and in their pure evil. They belong to a fairy tale before Disney when children could be hurt. So, be warned. Carl Lumbly as Dick Halloran is a stroke of genius. I'm so glad the budget of this film did not allow for digital de-aging. You have to check the credits to make sure that it's not a time-traveling Scatman Crothers. His voice, his looks, mannerisms, personality are all spot on.
It seems to me you grew up fine, son.
Full credit to the actor, director, the makeup team, and anyone else involved in bringing this character back to life. Alex Essoe is also well cast as Wendy Torrance, considering the actress Shelley Duvall had a distinctive look. All the characters are handled with care. Even the minor ones with only a few lines feel fully fleshed out. Take Abra's mother, for instance.
I'm flying out to see Momo in the morning. Abs, is she gonna pull through this time?
I don't know.
This one line shows us that she's unsure of how to deal with Abra's shine. She's worried about her mother's impending death and does not want to show too much of it in front of her daughter, and that she's a loving mother. That brings us to Abra, main character number 3.
If anyone asks, you're my uncle. Uncle Dan.
As previously mentioned, Abra is abundantly gifted with the shine. Well and good. She is fearless, except one time. She is adept at shine usage and outwits Rose on many occasions. She is mature. She can deal with the death of loved ones and also help others in doing so. You get the picture. She is a little Miss Perfect. She even helps Danny fight his inner demons. There was a threat of her undermining the rest of the characters, but it's somewhat balanced out by some excellent writing and acting for Danny and Rose. Danny in particular has a character arc of his own, independent of Abra. She does, however, lower the stakes at the climax. Abra had already faced off Rose twice by this point, and she had vanquished her much experienced adversary on both those occasions. So it's not difficult to guess the outcome during the climax, with Danny by her side. The climax also comes with an unhealthy dose of fan service. Moments like this earlier on in the film might make us smile with reminiscence, but a return to the Overlook Hotel and having multiple scenes that mirror the original is a bit too much. Thus, as a standalone, I would rate it 7 paws out of 10. How about as a sequel? My fellow YouTuber, Scraffala's Production, put forth the following criteria for a perfect sequel, and I will be using the same here. Number 1. Expand the universe in meaningful ways. 2. Continue the story. 3. Expand the themes, introduce new themes. 4. Leave an impact on the franchise. We will see that Dr. Sleep satisfies the first 3 criteria like a dream and loses it with the 4th. Let's look at them. Expand the universe in meaningful ways. The movie does it literally. We move from the oppressive, claustrophobic confines of the Overlook into the wide open world. Furthermore, the concept of the Shine is expanded upon. In The Shining, we're thrown into a world of unfamiliarity at the Overlook, the isolation, the spirits, the Shine, and Jack himself. The family is on a downward spiral. There is a growing sense of impending doom, and under those circumstances, everything unfamiliar seems hostile. Over the course of the years, the audiences have dissected every aspect of the movie and have noticed that the Shine is inherently neutral. It warns Danny of Jack and also sends the family help in the form of Halloran, and it also gets Halloran killed. In Dr. Sleep, free from the confines of the Overlook and away from its ghostly inhabitants, we can take a breath and explore the Shine better. The Shine confers different gifts on different users. This young lady, Andy for instance, is bestowed with persuasion. Earlier on in the film, she uses it to weed out pedophiles. However, after her initiation into Rose's pack, she lures an innocent child.
It's okay. We're friends.
Thus, it is what its users choose to do with it. The wide open spaces the cinematography so focuses on subtly impress upon us that beyond the frame lies the vast unknown, and in this unknown can be found many manifestations of the Shine as yet unrevealed to us, the audience. Thus, despite concentrating heavily on the Shine, we're led to believe that what we are seeing is only a small portion of it, escaping the trap of appearing over-explained. The mystery and vagueness of the Shine is preserved. Well done, movie. Continue the story. I will let Mike Flanagan himself explain this.
At its core, Dr. Sleep is the continuation of the story of one of horror's most affecting and iconic characters, and that is Danny Torrance. This is the rest of his journey. This is him still out there dealing with the Shining in a world that is dark and horrifying.
Expand the themes and introduce new themes. Ewan McGregor says it best.
The Shining is very much about alcoholism and addiction and not being in control of yourself, but Dr. Sleep novel and our script seems to be very much about recovery.
Leave an impact on the franchise. This is where the movie falls short, unfortunately. In The Shining, towards the end, the tension is building, horrific incident after horrific incident are coming to pass, the unpredictability is high, there is no knowing who would make it out alive, including a young Danny, and the movie closes with this powerful image. In Dr. Sleep, on the other hand, we know the winner and loser before going into the climax. The threat is low thanks to Abra's overall superiority and her previous 2 encounters with Rose. The way it pans out is uninspired, and the heavy concentration on fan service does not help either, making Dr. Sleep appear to be riding on the coattails of The Shining, instead of being its own thing. On the whole, lowering the impact the movie has on the audience and on the franchise. 5 paws out of 10 as a sequel. Although deserving a watch, I'm afraid Dr. Sleep would only be a footnote in the legacy of The Shining. Do you think Dr. Sleep ever had the potential of being an Aliens-like sequel to The Shining? If so, under which filmmaker? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. This is the Disembodied Voice, signing out.